Hey guys! So today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I thought I would start showing you my book hauls for the month. So today I'm going to show you my August book haul. And I got 10 books this month. So stay tuned. So I thought I'd try out some Beachy Waves today. What do you think? Do you like it? Comment below and let me know. I'm actually using from one of the subscription boxes. It's FabFitFun and it's Everyday Beach Waves. I thought I'd test it out and see how it worked, and I kind of like it. I'm not used to seeing my hair like this, so. Okay, to the book haul. All right. So I have one middle grade book, and this one came in our OWLCRATE Junior subscription box for August, and it's called The Apprentice Witch, and it's about this little witch named Erin, and she flunked her exam, and so she's sent to this town or city or whatever called Lowell. And it's not as boring as it sounds. There ends up being like all kinds of, it says a dangerous infestation of hex creeps throughout the town. And she's having to banish spirits, help creatures, cast spells. And so she actually starts getting the hang of being a witch. But it says, for the worst still lies ahead, for a sinister darkness has begun to haunt her spells, and there may be much more at stake than just her pride. So, my son, it's not so much a book that he would like, I don't think, but I actually will read it, so I will let y'all know how I like it later. Okay, the next books I got in subscription boxes as well. This one was, and this one came in my OWLCRATE box. And so this one is A Sleepy Hollow and Other Short Stories by Washington Irving. And it has The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, Rip Van Winkle, The Spectre Bridegroom, The Devil and Tom Walker, The Pride of the Village, and Old Christmas. And it looks like, you know, it's a small book. I think it'll be a fairly quick read. Good October read for Halloween. And then the next one is The Hearts We Sold. And this book's about a girl named Dee Marino. And she's like at the end of her rope. She's about to get kicked out of boarding school because of not having enough funds. And she lives in a place where demons exist, and they'll make deals by trading body parts. And so she makes a deal with a demon, but the only body parts that he wants are hearts. So she makes a deal with her heart. And what comes after she makes her deal is far worse than any nightmare she could have ever imagined. And she ends up meeting with other heartless, and there ends up being, I think, a romance. But she's like, how can she give her heart away to this boy when she doesn't own it? It's been sold. And so that's kind of the idea of this book. Also, in my Guilty Pleasures book crate, we got More Than Memories, and it's about this woman who doesn't remember anything, and she feels like she's a character in a storybook. Nothing feels real, and she believes that everybody's hiding something for her. Even the man that she's laying next to each night, she feels is a complete stranger, and she doesn't even feel like she belongs in her own skin. So I'm looking forward to reading this. I like the whole amnesia kind of thing. So, all right, next is a book that I came across. I like to watch other booktubers, and I buy a lot of books from watching their reviews and stuff, and I can't remember if this is in a subscription box somebody had gotten a long time ago or they just purchased it, but as soon as I saw they reviewed it, I was like, I have to have this book because it was just, oh, okay. I love retelling books, and I've purchased a lot of those recently, but this is Alice Takes Back Wonderland and by David D. Hammonds. And okay, let me just read the back to you. I have read the back of this to everybody that's come into my house because I think it just sounds that amazing. Okay, it says, after 10 years of being told she can't tell the difference between real life and fairy tale, Alice finally stops believing in Wonderland. So when the White Rabbit shows up at her house, Alice thinks she's going crazy. Only when the White Rabbit kicks her down the rabbit hole does Alice realize that the magical land she visited as a child is real. But all is not well in Wonderland. The Ace of Spades has taken over Wonderland and is systematically dismantling all that makes it wonderful. Plain is replacing wondrous, logical is replacing magical, and reason is destroying madness. Alice decides that she must help the Mad Hatter and all those fighting to keep Wonderland wonderful. But how can she face such danger when she's just a girl? Alice must journey across the stars to unite an army. She discovers that fairy tales are real in the magical world beyond the rabbit hole, but they're not the fairy tales she knows. Fairy tales have dangers and adventures of their own, and Alice must overcome the trials of these old stories if she wants to unite the lands against Ace. With the help of Peter Pan, Pinocchio, Snow White, and heroes old and new, Alice may have the strength to take back Wonderland. I love that they've incorporated these other fairy tales, and it gives me a very Once Upon a Time feel, and I love that show so much. So this is probably the next book I'm going to read. I'm super excited about this book. So excited. Okay. All right. The next two books I have are Frozen and Stolen in the Heart of Dread series by Melissa De La Cruz and Nicol Johnston. And as you can see, these stickers here, I got these from McKay's, which is a huge used bookstore here in the Chattanooga area. It is one of my all-time favorite places to go because it's just aisles and aisles and aisles and aisles and aisles of books, and it's like, I'm pretty sure it's way bigger than the Barnes and Noble, and I love it so much. And I get these books so cheap. This was $5. This was $2. Love it. Love it so much. Okay, so let me tell you a little about these books. The Heart of Dread books are about the world, or at least Las Vegas in the first one. But it's not Las Vegas, it's New Vegas. And the world's been destroyed. Everything is frozen in the world. And our main character, her name is Natasha Kestel. She lives in New Vegas, and it's still very much like the Las Vegas we know, except frozen. And casinos and debauchery and all of that. Natasha is a blackjack dealer. She wants to escape, and she's heard of this place called Blue, which is supposed to be this paradise. And it says that they say it's paradise where the sun still shines and the waters are turquoise. More importantly, it's a place where Nat won't be persecuted, even if her darkest secret comes to light. But it's a very treacherous path getting there, and the people she meets along the way, and it's like a love story, I believe, and very futuristic. I know on the back it says De La Cruz and Johnston's Frozen is as fearless as a futuristic Game of Thrones and equally addictive. This epic new take on classic sci-fi and fantasy is equal parts wild and wildly romantic. Somebody else said it was the Lord of Rings in reverse, with a dash of Ridley Scott's hard-boiled military fun. This swoon-worthy adventure is an original and thrilling escape that will break your heart and make it soar at the same time. And another quote says, Frozen is the perfect mixture of everything I love in a book. Humor, suspense, twists, and above all, originality. Highly recommended. And Stolen is the second in that series, and I believe Golden, which I have ordered, is the third book in the series. The next book I also got from McKay's, and I want to say it was like $3. And I just happened to... Okay, so this is all I saw when I picked it up. And I saw Melanie, and Melanie Ben was all it took, because my name was Melanie Benson. Anyway, so I picked it up, and it was Alice, I Have Been. And I looked in and I started reading it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the story of the real Alice. And it's a historical fiction based in the 1800s when the real Alice lived. And it's all about her relationship with her family. It's Mr. Dodson, who was Lewis Carroll, how the story came to be, and then it went on with the rest of her life as an adult and all the way up till the end. And it was I've already read this one, so it's such a good story, and it had me, oh my gosh, I had the feels. I was crying. Like, the first half of the book was like really slow, but the second half of the book I just flew through so quick, and I was bawling sitting here reading the last. Oh, I'm not going to spoil anything, but oh, it's such a good book. And if you're a fan of Alice in Wonderland, you should read this book. Okay. All right, the next one is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I don't really know anything about this book, so I don't know if you like reading the insides, but I'm going to read this to you, so you can skip past it if you don't want to hear about it. This actually came in a Pop Sugar box, but I didn't get it out until August, so... Okay, so aging and reclusive Hollywood movie icon Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life. But when she chooses unknown magazine reporter Monique Grant for the job, no one is more astounded than Monique herself. Why her? Why now? Monique is not exactly on top of the world. Her husband has left her, and her professional life is going nowhere. Regardless of why Evelyn has selected her to write her biography, Monique is determined to use this opportunity to jumpstart her career. Summoned to Evelyn's luxurious Manhattan apartment, Monique listens in fascination as Evelyn tells her story, from making her way to Los Angeles in the 1950s to her decision to leave show business in the 80s, and of course, the 7 husbands along the way. Evelyn unspools a tale of ruthless ambition, unexpected friendship, and a great forbidden love. Monique begins to feel a real connection to the legendary star. But as Evelyn's story nears its conclusion, it becomes clear that her life intersects with Monique's in tragic and irreversible ways. Written with Reid's signature talent for creating complex, likable characters, this is a mesmerizing journey through the splendor of old Hollywood into the harsh realities of present day as 2 women struggle with what it means and what it costs to face the truth. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was an actual biography, but it's the author of Maybe in Another Life, and I've actually heard of that book, and I've considered getting that book. It says it's a spellbinding novel about love, glamour, and the price of fame. And hopefully I'll get to this. I'm not sure. We'll see. It came in a subscription box, and I always like getting books in the subscription box, so... Okay, the last book I have here is Dorothy Must Die. And I believe I ordered this on Amazon. It was a used book. Okay, so this book is about a girl named Amy Gum, and she's another girl from Texas that gets picked up by a tornado, and she is brought to Oz, and she's expecting, you know, all the things she saw in the movie. But what she finds is the place is like a mess, and it's all because of Dorothy. Dorothy found a way to come back to Oz and has wreaked havoc, and the power's gone to her head, and I guess they have to stop her. And so that's all I really know about this one. I know it's a series, and I have ordered other books in the series. It's a retelling, and I love retellings. Oh, here's what it says on the back. Your mission: remove the Tin Woodman's heart, steal the Scarecrow's brain, take the Lion's courage, and then Dorothy must die. Only you can make Oz a free land again. I mean, doesn't that sound great? Like, this weird, twisted Wizard of Oz is so different from what we know. That I love those kind of stories. I love the originals, but I really love like retelling kind of stories. I even have these books that are kids books. Well, they could be for adults too, but I like them. And it's like Ariel or The Little Mermaid on one side, and you flip it over and it's Ursula's side of the story on the other side. And I think I have one for Cinderella where it's Cinderella, and then the other side is the evil stepmother. There's Snow White on one side and the evil queen on the other. And they're so cute. Like, where they talk about, oh, that kid was just this and this and that, and it's just so funny, I think. But yeah, that's my book haul for the month of August, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a big thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos like this or my unboxings, click that subscribe button down below. Until next time, bye!